Welcome back. I'm Mary Kay Kurtz, and it's my pleasure today to introduce, first of all, Rick Luby, who's the advertiser and supporter of the Ebby Reporter, and Dean Yates. Welcome
Hello.
to the show today, of course. And,
So nice to be here. This is exciting.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Mary Kay.
Absolutely. So most people know Rick for his community at Sunset Acres and
Right.
also his barn doors that he's building. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it kind of all started 15 years ago, actually, Mary Kay. You know, when I developed Sunset Acres, I wanted to develop a kind of a unique, different real estate development, and I chose to do lease homes then because I've always felt Amarillo has a lack of good quality lease homes. So I developed 75 acres into 52 lease homes, and that's all they are, just lease homes. But they're good quality lease homes. They're close to Amarillo city limits, so you kind of feel like you have country living, but yet you're just minutes from the city. And then it developed a little bit further, where then I kind of got into my exotic animals, and so I've done that for the last 15 years. And having these exotic animals, you know, we've had school group kids come out, and then it turned into where we really started supporting the veterans and had a lot of big events for the veterans out at my place for the last probably 8 years or so. I didn't do it this year, unfortunately, but I did decide here, I guess about 4 or 5 months ago that I was moving, so I got rid of my animals, and part of that reason is because about 1.5 years ago I started focusing on barn doors. I think we've all seen for the last 7-8 years that people are building barn dominiums, and they become very popular. And barn dominiums are basically, you know, somebody builds a shed, a barn, and they live in it. They might have a little fancy porch on it, but they live in it. And I've just seen that the need for that people love that, but also I've seen a lot of people like, well, they don't want to live in a barn. They don't want to feel like they live in a barn. So then I developed Barn Door Drive, and it's basically the same thing where you're living inside of a barn, but I stick framed a house in front of the barn, bricked it, and sod, sprinkler, 1 acre tracks, curb and gutter, paved streets. So when you're driving down there, you look and feel just like you're living in the Greenways or the Colonies or Sleepy Hollow or something. And the barn is actually hid behind the house. You don't know it till you actually walk in the house and walk through the house, and then your big barn with all your amenities is right there for your shop or whatever needs that you have. And so I've really just focused on that for like the last 1.5 years, and it just turned out amazing. It's taken a while. We just finally got our streets paved just like 3 weeks ago, where people can really get in and out of there. But we do have 3 completed. We have 3 families already living there, 3 more that are 80% completed, and 4 more that are under construction. So it's just turned out amazing, and people just love it. Have gotten so many compliments on it. It's, you know, it's a one-way street, one way in, one way in, one way out, gated community. We have 7-foot privacy fences all the way around all the properties. So whatever you have in your backyard is not visible from the street. So the curb appeal is just amazing and well kept up, and it's just been amazing. I have a lot of good compliments and people wanting them. So
That's great.
Now, what's the square footage of these barn doors? I know they vary.
They do vary some. Well, actually, the first 6 that I built are 4,600 square foot of living area,
Okay.
and then 2,800 square foot of shop garage, and then it also has your 3-car garage, just like a traditional 3-car garage on the front of it, and then the patios and everything, the storage area. Anyway, each one right now is about 11,000 square feet under roof.
Wow.
Now the next 2 that
That's
I'm working on,
amazing.
I've downsized the living area a little bit to like 2,800 square feet instead of 4,600. But that also gives you a little bit more shop area too. But so they're all big. But like I said, when you're standing in front of them, it looks just like a house in Sleepy Hollow or the Colonies. They have automatic opening gates that get to the back area where the shop door is, and that's where you can pull in your motor home or whatever you want to store back there. All the shop areas are all plumbed with hookups, full hookups for RVs, so you can just pull your RV in there, hook up your water, your sewer, and your electric and everything. And they're big.
Yeah, yeah.
What else is big is your heart, and you're very generous to the community. And I want to hear about your most recent generosity in donating to nonprofits.
Well, thank you. And that was just kind of a spur of the moment. And actually, I do a lot of things kind of the spur of the moment. Like I didn't know I was moving 3 months ago until I just woke up one morning and decided it's probably the best thing for me to do, and decided I was moving. And so part of it is this year because I didn't have my big veterans events and stuff. I was just lacking to do something. So here about 2 weeks ago, I was like, sometimes you can do big things in little groups. Mm-hmm. And so what I did is I just put a post out there on Facebook that looking for 10 people from different nonprofit organizations, and people just messaged me, and I chose the first 10, and I said, just show up at my house this coming Tuesday. Let's say it was Thursday. Actually, show up this coming Thursday, and we're going to have a little meet and greet, and Rick Luby Homes is going to give away $5,000 to one of the nonprofit organizations. And so people didn't even know much about it. So that people just showed up at 6 o'clock like I had asked them. And so we did a meet and greet, and the meet and greet actually turned out wonderful. Like people from different nonprofit organizations, they didn't know what each other was doing. So they got a chance to introduce each other. We actually had everybody stand up front and introduce themselves and what their nonprofit was and what their purpose of it was. So
Bet you learned a lot.
It was really neat, but it was just like 10 people. Some people brought couples, but basically 10 nonprofit organizations coming together to share what they did. And there's tons of ways that we come up with how they can help each other. So then to kind of top it off, I always like to make things kind of fun too. So rather than just saying, I think you're going to win the $5,000, is what we did. I don't know if anybody ever heard of Right Left Center.
Right.
It's kind of
That's fun.
yeah, it is fun. It's kind of a little dice game. Everybody gets 3 tokens, and everybody gets some dice, and you roll it, and it might tell you got to one of your tokens to the left, one to the center. Anyway, as it goes around, all the tokens get put in the center, and whoever has the last token wins.
Right.
Well, the last token then won. And prior to starting that, actually, Robert and Sheila Gideon, when they were there with a nonprofit, and they just heard everybody sharing all their different nonprofit organizations' needs, and so they committed to committing to a $2,500 donation for second place.
Oh, great.
So we actually had first place and a second place winner, and we
that's
did it by
great.
playing Right Left Center.
That's great.
It was fun. It was a lot of
Fun.
fun. So
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I had the privilege, or our band had the privilege of participating in one of your events. That was that police officer who was severely hurt in a car wreck, and the family needed funds. So we had the privilege of playing for that event, and came out and
Exactly. And that was a great
so much
event.
fun.
That family was so appreciative of what we did, and it really helped them out a lot. So
we
appreciate you
appreciated
coming out.
being
Singing that
invited
night,
to
too. It was
do
great.
that, to volunteer for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look forward to doing more things like that in the future. And just because I moved and I didn't do my veterans things, I'm building my new house, and once I get that done, I'll be doing more things for the community and veterans and stuff too. Just kind of in transition right now between downsizing a little bit, and so.
Right. Well, you do support veterans too. I've been to one of your events.
Yes. They've always been one of my biggest.
Close to your heart.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Now, you still have kept some of your animals.
I have kept a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, one we had a meeting with. You had that function, that event at Luby Lake, and and seemed to enjoy my beverage, the one that.
I did have a little. I kept a few lemurs, and
The lemur was quite.
Yeah, he was.
Quite interesting. To say the least. But
I
saw him on your head.
That one used to be always on my head all the time. But Sunset Acres has gone wonderful, and it's just, I really like to create different things that other people don't have or don't do, and that's what Sunset Acres is. And another thing about Sunset Acres, I own all the homes, so I tell everybody, when they move there, I'll guarantee them they'll never have a bad neighbor. I mean, I must make a mistake and it leads to somebody that shouldn't be there, but 30 days later they won't be there. So I can guarantee everybody you'll never have a bad neighbor. And when I come up with the barn door idea, it was just something I seen that nobody else has done, and so many people really have a need for that. You know, they want everything in that same location. They don't want to have a house, an RV storage over here, a shop that they might have a mom and pop shop office or something. They can have it all right there. And then because they got the big fences, it's on 1 acre lots, they got the big fences in the back. You know, if you have a less desirable trailer you need to keep or park or something for temporary, you put it back there and it doesn't affect anybody at all.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Yeah, appreciate
I
it,
really
Rick.
appreciate
I
it.
always
so
enjoyed
much.
seeing both of you.
Always
So
enjoy.
thank you
Yeah,
for having
thank
me. Thank you.
We'll be right back.